What's going on, guys? Chadwick with you here on the channel, and I have printed out the best 3D object ever. This is the new Mandalorian bust created by the same gentleman that gave us the Death Trooper skull bust. Let me get his name real quick. The prints come from Mr. Paul Braddock on My Mini Factory. I have to say that I was never really into building bust models and painting them when I've been doing models for years. But with the 3D printer, it's just kind of a new thing that is really cool because you just can't go out and buy cool models like this. I mean, it looks like Boba Fett has been slapped right down the middle of the face with an antenna. I mean, I'm sorry, I was staring over here, with a lightsaber. You know, it's just great. The skull's in there and everything like that. It comes with this really cool stand that you can print that has the symbol for his clan. And as far as my print goes, I did some things that I probably would recommend people not to. I saw Uncle Jesse's video where he printed it at like a 0.2 layer with I think around 8% infill, and his print turned out really good. Mine, I did 0% infill, and I did supports from the bed. Everything with the supports turned out good. Same issue as him. It prints the supports like all the way up in there, so I don't know how you're supposed to get some of those out. They're just kind of rattling around, and it makes the bottom of the base really gnarly. But when you put it on this base that you can print out, you can't see that stuff anyway. And with some sanding and everything in XTC 3D, we can get rid of a lot of that. Now, maybe I didn't, maybe with, I had some issues here, maybe with temperatures and overhangs. Maybe I should have added some ports in there, but I thought it would print out just fine. But you can see I have a lot of problems there with the overhangs. The teeth turned out okay. It looks like he's got like braces on in there, and I got a huge Z-axis seam line back there, which I don't mind because that just means that it's basically one area that I have to worry about sanding off, and it's not random spots kind of all over the place that you have to hit, even though you're going to probably sand a lot of this anyway. Overall, it's printed just fine on the Creality. Besides those issues, the layer lines are nice and smooth. You know, just barely can hear them. Of course, up to the top, you get a little bit of problems, but nothing that can't be taken down with sandpaper and, of course, some epoxy. The stand, I pretty much had the same problem. There's two models you can print. You can print a hollow or an infill. I printed the hollow versions, and that's why I have like all of these gaps and everything inside here. You can see there's a gap there at the bottom of the base. There's a gap there in the back. But that doesn't really bother me. I'm not going to waste the time or filament and reprint those because all that is easily corrected with some epoxy sculpt or some type of filler putty. So not a big deal. Pretty long prints. I think he was about a 13 to 14 hour print running at, I think I'm running at 55 millimeters per second. And I think it was around 300 grams. I could probably weigh it and let you know. But anyway, goes on the stand. I still have the antenna to print. He's definitely going to get totally painted up because the Boba Fett bust is just awesome. And where I have those problems with the overhangs and stuff, that's no problem. I'm just going to take my soldering iron to it and just kind of scorch that stuff, and then I'll just weather it all in and make it look like he's actually scorched up around the eyes as well. So that's going to do it for Boba Fett right there. Go ahead and look on My Mini Factory. for this print. I'll actually put a link to it below in the description, and there's a link to my Patreon account down there too if you feel like kicking me a buck to help pay for my Adobe fees and all the stuff it costs to make the channel. Then I would definitely appreciate it. We'll see you guys later.